Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the official ARK podcast number 222. My name's Coach Mistletoe, and I'm here live with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Mr. Atlas. Please take it away, sir.
Hello, Mistletoe. And folks, welcome back to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. This is Saturday, June 10th. Fantastic day, folks. We're checking out here, looking at the chart. We're seeing that we're finding here a balance. We're at 99 cents. We're playing at $1 for really most of yesterday. The buy volume is 25K. The sell volume is 26K. So almost a 50-50 there. To be precise, 48% buy volume, 52% sell volume. So a bit off balance. That's what we're seeing it really touch 99 cents. But ideally, as we said, we're trying to find here our range. Yesterday was a really important day as we had an equal amount of buys and sells. We're seeing that the ILC is really kicking into gear at the moment, doing a lot of the buying. We need folks to step up to build that liquidity, to find our dynamic range. And with the volume that will be coming as we go out, launch our products, show them to so many folks who are going to be able to use them, especially when you take into consideration, folks, what's happening with the on-ramps and off-ramps. It's no secret if you're involved in crypto and you're keeping track of everything that's happening, folks. The evidence is really clear. So we see a fantastic opportunity. We've always said it here. That's why we decided to create these products and go out to market with them, bring that revenue back here to ARK. It's for the very simple reason that we understand there's a lot of folks that are going to be stranded, that are going to be needing these tools. They're going to be using these products in their daily lives. The on-ramps, the Terra, the Air Card, and eventually even the ARK decentralized VPN is going to be a fantastic, fantastic product. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the analytics. Let's see what's happening on the ARK. We are at 5,439 ARK Vault accounts. We're again, folks, on the rise. Positive growth. Liquidity on PSC, PancakeSwap, is 189,012 BUSD. IOC reserves 308,440 BUSD. The ARK price is at 99 cents at the moment. And the spark price for today is 718.65 ARK. Super bullish, folks. This is our time to rally, to fight for our price. And we're seeing folks really step in. After the podcast last night, a lot of our investors in legacy NFTs, they rallied together. They all did coordinated buys. It's great to see the community really come together and take advantage of the fantastic price and hold this level, which is so important. The street value of the Spark price pool is $711.46. Today, we're going to find our 212th winner, and the MVP will earn 10% of that. They've had 3 referrals for a total, yes, folks, check this out, a total of $11,377.91. Yes. Boy, are they stepping up. Their wallet ends in EE7F. So absolutely amazing. Very, very bullish. Congratulations, MVP. You absolutely deserve it. This is where it counts, folks. This is the time to make it happen. With that, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Brett and check on him with some updates. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Another busy day. Not as crazy as yesterday. I mean, that was probably till like 4 in the morning working. It was really, really intense.
I think I swamped your DMs now with a whole bunch of things. So I know you're excited. We're just doing a lot of research and working on, ArkNet and also the DVPN. And Alex has been well underway with the on and off ramps, and so he's knee deep in that. And for the on ramp, really the update is that we're just going back and forth with the bank now, getting the final the final approvals and everything hooked up, and doing some testing. So we're real close on that. We've obviously had the design for quite some time. It's just been the slow communication back and forth, and really taking its time to get these finishing touches done and have everything in place so that Alex can finish the testing of the system. So that's where we're at with the on-ramp, and it couldn't come fast enough. Obviously, the U.S. is having issues right now. Binance, and we've seen Crypto.com getting rid of their institutional services. So, there's a lot happening, a shake up, shake out, whatever you want to call it, of these centralized exchanges and the on-ramps. And I think that people are looking for this solution. I was on a live stream earlier today, and there was at least 4 or 5 different people, how to buy crypto in the U.S., how can I on-ramp from the U.S., people asking for this service. So I think it's becoming really top of mind, especially in the United States. Obviously, it's a global problem, but now it's just being highlighted, I think, even more. And it's a huge opportunity for us. So, if we can package this in the right way, market it in the right way, we know we're going to be using those legacy NFT funds to help with that. We can make a big entrance into the marketplace. And so using this sort of crisis as a launch pad, I think is an outstanding timing situation for us, and we need to capitalize on it. So that's where we're focused now. We have several ideas in the mix right now for how we're going to launch that on-ramp product and market it and push it, relying on both our internal network of content creators, developing promotions, going out doing some more traditional crypto level marketing, which I think will work right now simply because it's such a hot topic. And then also through our AMAs and the tour that we're talking about doing for the legacy NFTs and discussing the utilities. I think this will catch a lot of people's attention and has a really high use case at this point. So we're pushing as hard as we possibly can. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We know it's going to really help impact the positivity and shift the sentiment that we still see kind of, dribbling through the Telegram and Discord at times. People that really haven't taken the time to either go through the roadmap or spend time here with the team on the daily podcasts and follow some of the content creators that are covering these things. Everybody's still a little bit focused on price, but we've seen the price upholding now. So we're working sideways, which is great. And if we can maintain this stability around $1, we're, poised for a recovery. So let's see where things go. But I think the next 2 weeks will be exciting and lots to share, lots to release, promotions coming behind those things. And I know you've been in talks today about, the content creators and how we can bolster things, how we can take advantage of these new product releases with the great platform that we have already developed with the Sweep widget, the All Aboard, and building some incentives around those. So that's what I'm looking forward to. This next week will just be, more of the on and off ramps and hopefully getting those finishing touches done on those and setting some hard dates and getting the promotions lined up. We may still soft launch to kind of do some testing internally through the secret DAO or even within the community before we push it out to the general public. But we'll keep everybody updated, as where we're at, how we're going to release it, put together a plan so everybody can see it, and then do our normal announcements and discussions here on the podcast as well. So stay tuned for that. And I think that's about it. I was trying to think if there was anything else. I think we're pretty close in the Zoom presentations as well. I'm sure we'll hear from Bizy Dips tomorrow. with their great weekly recap. I know the legacy NFT sales have been really positive. The LSA is firing on all cylinders. And I think the changes that we made, the updates to the foundation as well as the LSA, are definitely pointing a lot of people in that direction to stretch into that legacy NFT and take advantage of the utilities that are coming. And we know we've got a pretty big war chest. I think you talked about it yesterday. We have over 700,000 in that legacy NFT investment fund that's going to be put to use to really push the utilities and bring revenue back to both the ILC and the NFT rewards pool. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. Anything else that you can think of?
No, that's perfect. I can tell the community, we had a meeting today regarding, really using the platform and the D app to communicate. We saw that it worked with the announcement that we made not so long ago. So we want to really push the sweep widget there. We're going to also be shifting to offering ARK instead of BUSD for the all aboard and the contests going forward. We understand that this is a really fantastic place to start stacking your ARK, adding it back to your vault. So when you win a contest, you will only have the option to receive an airdrop. We're not going to give ARK so that folks are able just to cash it out. So we're going to, be doing some updates and really having meetings with our content creators. We had a meeting here with the admins, creating a system going forward. I think Jashawn really brought a fantastic concept of focusing and zeroing in on the shorts and having the community all focus and rally as part of the all aboard. So some improvements, optimizations are going to be happening in how we move forward in that aspect. Also, I think it'll make the all aboard sessions a lot shorter if we're going to be pretty much picking one of the best shorts for the day, awarding a prize. And a couple times a week, we'll have a full length video as well that we want to showcase. But we're going to be pushing really a lot of this content to our own YouTube to start really building our presence, the followers, and getting the algorithms working as we go and do AMAs and we talk with VCs and institutional investors and just the folks from the real world. One of the first things they're going to always do is look at your position in the socials, your Twitter. They'll come here to the Telegram. They'll look at our Discord. They'll look at our YouTube. And we have a very impressive presence already because we have 221 podcasts already uploaded, ready to go. We're going to be doing chapters on those. So we're going to, turn YouTube into the main platform here shortly where we're going to do the podcast and we're going to connect with so many folks. I mean, we love having 30, 40 people here, but ideally we're going to have, I think, the potential to have a couple hundred participants and folks interacting, especially as we gear into this new crowd of crypto enthusiasts, folks that are onboarding and offboarding every single day that are using our products. We're going to be able to receive them. Not everybody is using Discord or Telegram. So it'll be the place where we can, broadcast live. We'll be able to answer questions. It'll be a bit of a different format as we have here since you can't have 40, 50 people all being able to talk at the same time. So we're working out the details and improving the broadcasting studio, improving the whole overall experience here as we understand that there's a whole new crowd that's going to be joining us. And it's going to be a fantastic experience. So we're going to give you all the information as we work out the final details. But a great meeting was had here with the admins and the team to zero in and become very effective with our message as we have to improve on that, as we have to, zero in and talk about the roadmap. We're going to have to create a lot of content regarding how to sign up for the air card, the Terra card. How long does it take for it to arrive in the mail? How do you order 2 or 3 cards if you need to? What are the limits? So there's just so much content that's going to have to be created, and we want to work closely with the folks like Jashawn and Brandon, the Drip Guide, and Donatello and Fergie and Johnny Fawcett. There's going to be a ton of fun stuff that we're going to do here together to push the message because we have an absolute, just top team when it comes to content creators and a community that is backing them up. So we thank everyone for the participation in that contest of the all aboard. We know the Wheel of Toad is always fun. And we're also trying to, I believe, convey all these different products, the opportunities. We're to do a lot of customer support on these products as well here. And it's going to help us for all of the community to eventually become as versed and educated on how those products work as they are in the ROI DApp or the legacy NFTs and the vault. So we're all going to be going through a learning phase. We're going to have the opportunity to test out the products and use them first. And then we'll be able, as a community, to answer all of the questions. People coming in here, hey, I've heard about this card. How does this work? It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And we're going to see a lot of folks in the community have the opportunity to step up and contribute, understanding that every single purchase, every time they load a card, every time they spent, those funds are coming right back here to support your payouts, to support the printers as you get paid out here every single day. If you're holding legacy NFTs, you're also understanding that a large percentage of that is coming right into your wallet every single day. So it's a fantastic future we have here, folks. And we see everything playing out perfectly and at the right time. Calm, cool, collected. We're also looking at migration to Polygon. We're not in a panic. We're not, going to run out the door. That's not what we're doing. This is, I believe, a process that it's going to take its time. Maybe next week they'll come out and Department of Justice might come out with some charges against CZ. I mean, we don't know, but I can tell you that we're not pegged to BNB. We're paired, to be exact. So that's a very positive thing. We've seen today when I woke up, everything was red. The altcoin market's getting beat down in a very horrible way, understanding that there's a lot of fear. And it's clear that in the United States, there's a very different approach than what we're seeing here with MiCA in Europe. What we're seeing happen also in Hong Kong. Every bank in Hong Kong, for example, has by law the absolute duty to open a business account for crypto projects and folks that are working in this industry. It's not like a maybe. No, they have to absolutely do it. There's a lot of positive stuff that's happening, but there's a bit of its inconvenient shakeout that's happening in America, and I think they're just really bringing so much opportunity to the products that we have here, and of course, behind the products, we have these fantastic contracts. We have a community that's very well versed and educated on how it works, able to answer any question and help them get onboarded, because as we bring them in through the products, they're going to have that exposure that is so important. That's also going to help them earn their passive income. It's going to help everyone that's already here and invested. And it's just that snowball effect of growth as the products become more popular, as the marketing starts to really hit the streets, as the presentations on Zoom start to take effect. I mean, we are poised, folks, for massive potential growth here. And we're happy to have all of you here on this journey. Thank you. All right. So Mistletoe, let's go ahead and do the Wheel of the Toad. Let's start with that.
Alrighty, everyone should be able to see my screen here. This is the Wheel of the Toad, as we like to call it, the daily sweep widget giveaway. It is going to be changing up a little bit in the next coming days as we roll out the new contest that Atlas was talking about. But for the next day or two, we're still going to have it, and we're still going to continue to have it throughout the days. But it's going to change up a little bit. But to get involved, all you'll need to do every single day after the podcast, we post a new sweep widget link. It's posted in the main chat. It's pinned in the main chat, in the announcements channel, and in the topic, in the contest and giveaway topic. It's very easy to find. If you have troubles finding it, just let one of us know and we'll be happy to repost it for you. But all you have to do is click onto that new sweep widget link. It's going to redirect you to a task list. It's going to range from liking and commenting some YouTube videos. It's actually going to, right now, you're actually going to be liking and commenting on all the ARK podcasts that are uploaded right now, as long as the the roadmap presentation is now live on YouTube. So that's part of the sweep widget for today. So everyone that did enter into that, thank you for clapping or thank you for liking that, commenting. And we also just want to say, if you do have some time, do try to go through all the podcasts, and we would really appreciate it if if you're leaving the house or something, you could put on the podcast and just leave it watching to kind of help push the algorithm and get some watch time on all the podcasts. It's not needed to do it, but it would definitely be really appreciated if people could try to, start helping, liking, and commenting on some of those podcasts. We do have 220 of them uploaded, but we will start putting them into the sweep widget. But yeah, back to the sweep widget. All you have to do is like and comment on some YouTube videos, clap it up some Medium articles, retweeting some Twitter links. And once you go through all of those, your name is going to pop up on this amazing wheel right here. And every day we're going to spin it. If we land on your name, you are going to win $50 to $100 worth of BUSD. It's that simple. It really helps push the algorithm for the ARK and really helps all the content creators on board. So please do be sure to get involved, and it's an easy way to win free BUSD. So thank you everyone that does participate, and let's spin that wheel.
All right, sir. On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, Crypto Crunch official. You've won $50 worth of BUSD.
And Mr. Could you explain to us in a little more detail what you mean about checking out the playlist and watching the content and how that really helps?
Yeah, we're gonna create a whole playlist with all of the ARK podcasts in a basically a giant playlist. So there's gonna be 220 videos, and really what would really help a lot is all you'd have to do is simply click on that playlist and just open a tab and let YouTube just watch through all the videos. It's not only liking and commenting helps for pushing the algorithm, but actually watching the videos is what is really important. And if YouTube sees that someone actually watched the full podcast from start to finish, they're more likely to push that out in like before other things. And it's just really a good way to push the algorithm, and even a crazy little hack if you really want to go and help push the algorithm even further is you can actually change the speed of the video that you're watching and change it to half speed so that you're watching the video slower, and it actually tricks the algorithm into thinking that you're watching the video twice because you're watching, let's say a 10-minute video, but you're watching it for 20 minutes. So just some cool little hacks, and it definitely helps push the algorithm. So if you got some time, if you're leaving the house, just pop open the playlist and let the computer start watching the videos. You don't have to sit there and actually watch it. I'm sure everyone's been here attentive to all the past podcasts, so it would obviously be a lot just to watch them all. But just open up the tabs and let your PC play them. It's very simple.
All right, let's go ahead and release the Sparky. We're not going to do all aboard today.
Just before we do the Spark Atlas, I would just like to mention to people that one of the things that we're seeing on YouTube that really helps to push the algorithms, and it's one of the only places that we haven't mentioned. One of the things we haven't mentioned before is the tags that you put on your videos are incredibly important, because when people are searching for content, those tags are heavily dictate what content comes up. So going forward, as we evolve the competition and we work closely with the content creators, but if we just as of now, really, what we'd like to see people is to put certain tags on the videos, and we will make an official post about this, and we will also keep posting so that everybody can see it. But ArkFi, Ark DeFi, passive income, crypto, ROI DeFi, and sorry, I said DeFi twice, and financial freedom. These tags are going to really help hone in the algorithm for people doing searches on YouTube, so that they actually see the content that we're putting up. It's really important that we build the presence on YouTube through the new ArkFi YouTube channel, and those tags are gonna really help with that. So, as I said, we'll make a official announcement about this, and we will keep updating people. But if you could put those tags, all of you content creators out there, on your videos, that is going to really skyrocket the algorithm and push the audiences towards the YouTube channel. So, yeah, wanted to just mention that quickly.
And would it be worthwhile for the content creators to go back to their shorts and their videos and add those tags?
It would, you know, that is exactly what we need people to do, if I'm honest. You know, if you've got 10 ARK videos out there with none of those tags on, then you're really only getting that content out to a very small audience. So, excuse me, going back through your content and just adding those tags on, you know, you can copy and paste the list and just add it to, you know, everybody, all the content creators will be aware that when you create these videos, you have a tag section, like a little box, and you can just copy and paste those tags into that box. If you've got 10 videos, it might take you, you know, 3, 4, 5 minutes just to do that. And not only does that help us, but it's going to help you as well, because, you know, it's like I've said multiple times, when you make some content, you're not just giving yourself that one opportunity to grow your syndicate. It's there forever. But if you're not getting it to the target audience, then it's not as constructive as it could be. So going back through your content and just adding those tags is not just going to boost the algorithm for ARK, but it's going to boost the algorithm for your videos as well. So it's highly recommended and very, very helpful for everybody to do so.
All right. Thank you. Loud and clear. Call to action. And anyway, we're going to be meeting with the content creators separately and going over all the details. Jasan's made a proposal that we're going over as well. I'll be having a conversation with him. We're going to create a great plan moving forward to be more effective and really get out there. So thank you for that, Coach Brad. And let's go ahead and unleash the beast. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can indeed.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and make it happen now. For the Spark Prize to date, the winner's wallet address ends in 5015. They've had 654.28 ARK deposited directly into their vault, putting them in nitro mode. That's a street value of $651.03. And they are a first-time winner. Congratulations. And of course, a massive, massive day for our MVP winner. Their wallet ends in EE7F. And they've brought in over $11,000 worth of buys into the ARK Vault. Congratulations. Keep going, MVPs. That's what it's about. Loving that rally. Now we're going to turn it over to our very own crypto DeFi expert. What a day of news. There's a lot of panic happening with the altcoins. Lots of folks flopping and groping, seeing who's going to stick around. It's a really interesting time. I mean, we've been around in crypto for a very long time. And we've seen some FUD, China FUD, miners, which, by the way, I talked to China today, and they're still mining. They're still mining big time. They've moved a lot of the operation over to Russia. We have a contact that's doing a lot of business over there in China and in Russia, but they're still going. It's not all what you think and what they tell you in the news. But I hope you're doing well today. Our dear friend, Mr. Z.
Yeah, it's been not just an eventful day, but just the whole week. The whole week has had that same sort of scenario of FUD and I would say the CFTC and the SEC and and all that sort of fear is back in the markets as we look at the fear and greed index. Let me see where we stand on this currently. So yeah, it says neutral, but I think we're really close to fear because we're back to 25.8K. And yeah, did anyone have something to say? I just heard someone unmute their mic. No?
Mic.
No worries, no worries. So yeah, I still think the market still needs to go down. It's not finding a support at the 25 to 27K level. Usually we have a support and then we sort of see levels upwards get challenged, but we're not seeing that currently with BTC. We're seeing another dip, and there's a reason behind this dip today. So let me just touch into the fundamental stuff. I want to start off with Binance because they're the ones that are in the news right now. So Nigeria regulator halts Binance operations. This is the latest sort of hit for Binance this week. It started with the American lawsuit, and now you can say the Nigerian sort of equivalent of CFTC has basically told Binance to stop their services in Nigeria. So I'll read here a little bit. So it's been a tough week for cryptocurrency exchange Binance. On June the 9th, Nigeria's Security Authority reportedly deemed the exchange illegal just days after Binance was sued in the US. Binance Nigeria Limited is hereby directed to immediately stop soliciting Nigerian investors in any form whatsoever. So yeah, that's the latest there. Like people, like Nigeria has, I think, 3.5% of the worldwide crypto sort of investors, and it was like really good times. I think the last like 6 months, especially between mining and adoption when it came to sort of Cardano, sort of implementing a bunch of stuff there, and then we had Binance Nigeria that was registered back in 2018. So for that to be seen as a place of, you know, seeing that like being halted is another downer for crypto and overall with Binance. So any member of the investing public dealing with the entity is doing so at his or her own risk. This is what the commissioner had to say today. So yeah, the ban follows recent regulatory development within the local crypto ecosystem. On May the 28th, former President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Finance Act into law, introducing a 10% tax gain from digital assets. The newly elected Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has recently released a manifesto suggesting a revision of the Nigerian SEC regulation on digital assets to make them more business-friendly. The Central Bank of Nigeria does not recognize cryptocurrencies as a legal tender, and commercial banks are banned from engaging with crypto transactions in the country since 2021. So that's the sort of narrative in Nigeria right now when it comes to crypto. Another big thing happened today in crypto. I think Chris Dugan and 3-4 of you also like sent me links to this article. But yeah, I kind of read this on the way back home. So we all know a DAO to be a decentralized autonomous organization, and the reason we call it a decentralized autonomous organization is it basically we thought up till now it is it's basically a litigation, or you can say a DAO that doesn't allow for, like, you can say traditional finance, or you can say the SEC or any sort of centralized governance to basically have a lawsuit against. And unfortunately today that kind of changed as well. So UkiDAO to shut down after president setting court battle with CFTC. So today CFTC won a court battle with the owners of UkiDAO. So the CFTC emphasized that critically in a president setting decision, the court held that the UkiDAO is a person under the Commodity Exchange Act. So the two people that were, so it's the director Ian McGinley was basically one of the founding members of UkiDAO, and today he was charged, and a lawsuit was filed against him instead of UkiDAO. So now we're seeing individuals being targeted, and that's not nice for DeFi. So UkiDAO has received permanent trading and registration bans. It has been ordered to shut down the UkiDAO website and remove its content from the internet. That's big. Critically, in a precedent-setting decision, the court held the UkiDAO is a person under the Commodity Exchange Act and thus can be held liable for violation of the law. The court then held the UkiDAO did in fact violate the law as charged. This decision should serve as a wake-up call to anyone who believes that they can circumvent the law by adopting a DAO structure, intending to insulate themselves from law enforcement and ultimately putting the public at risk. So this is the first time in like sort of a legal standpoint that we're hearing that a DAO does not protect any liability towards a person, as this thing is the first thing that sets precedent. This is the first time I'm hearing it in the last 3-4 years that a DAO has been sort of taken under a person's name, and that person is being charged by the CFTC. So yeah, it's been a rough week for DeFi.
One of the things I think that about this particular article or this particular ruling, the DAO basically didn't show up, so they lost the ruling and now set precedents because they didn't fight it properly, which is a shame, because they were granted the win by default because they just didn't show up repeatedly. Didn't show up.
Let's see if we can kind of read that part here. So, CFT Division of Enforcement Director Ian McKinley released the following statement on CFTC. U.S. State William Ulrich entered a default judgment order that requires the defendant UkiDAO, a decentralized autonomous that CFT charges with operating a legal trading platform and unlawfully acting as a futures commission merchant, to pay civil monetary penalties of $643,000, so under a million. Orders permanent trading and registration bans, and orders the UkiDAO as well as any third party providing web hosting or domain name registration services to shut down the UkiDAO website and remove its content from the. This is very, very Orwellian for the CFTC to be asking the domain and the host sort of entity to shut down the website and remove it from the internet. Right? This is big. Critically, in a precedent-setting decision, the court held that UkiDAO is a person. Is a person under the Commodities Exchange Act, and thus can be held liable for violation of the law. The court then held that UkiDAO did in fact violate the law as charged. The founder created the DAO within this is pretty interesting. So let's read this part here. The founder created the DAO with an evasive purpose and with the explicit goal of operating an illegal trading platform without legal accountability. This decision should serve as a wake-up call to anyone who believes they can circumvent the law by adopting a DAO structure and to insulate themselves from law enforcement and ultimately pushing the public at risk. Super interesting. Super interesting. This, as I said, this is something that I have to do a lot more research on to understand how they were able to go after a DAO the way they have. But yeah, the serving was done. Go on. Sorry.
See, regarding this is just to be aware. This is regarding this topic, so it's relevant what I'm saying. Is this common, or has it happened before that the CFTC has been a plaintiff in actions? You mentioned for DAO it's never happened, but like other things and other lawsuits or targeting individuals too, has that happened before?
it's thus far like we've had individuals targeted, we've had trading platforms targeted, we've had other things targeted, but never a DAO. A DAO was always to be seen as a way to like sort of protect yourself from centralized government. That's why it was created. It was to give community a lot more purpose and to allow individuals to be protected, and today just proves that like this is the first like I've read lawsuits before. I've been through a the first I've come across a DAO being charged, and that DAO single entity. So yeah, it's worrying times in America right now.
And then, if I may, regarding the Nigeria you brought up in the article, they
Yeah.
had the Finance Act imposing a 10% on gains on digital assets. Is that is something that is like an exceptional exception to, because it's not recognized as a legal tender, as the article mentioned. It's not it will be, it's basically a additional tax just for digital assets. So there's no other like capital gains there, or, and also, is this a trend that's happening other countries, like adding a tax on gains for digital assets?
Thus far, not even the UK has put the capital gains tax on, and then UK is one of the financial sort of capitals of Europe, I'd say parts of the world. And even the UK has not put a capital gains tax on digital assets. So and we just had a switch in government there in Nigeria as well. So maybe that could be the reason behind it. But yeah, it's 10% on digital assets.
Do you think that, since it's not trickled or percolated yet or been implemented in elsewhere as broadly as you just stated, like UK, do you think that it could be starting because of rollout for the centralized digital currency for those the central banks, because they're not allowed to use current cryptocurrency, as the article mentioned, but it's a threat, and they're all look at the global map of the rollout. It's in pretty mature stages. So you think this could be something that's gonna be implemented? Do you see that happening?
I mean, like when it comes to the Nigeria thing, like they're still to have elections, and they also and I think Binance went through this in Europe as well. They went through it in the UK, and then they were able to like register a limited company and act accordingly. So I wouldn't think that this is a huge sort of, because Binance have been here before multiple times when it comes to registering a limited company, having a board of directors in that state. So I think in the next like 3-4 months they'll be able to work around that in some way or form, or appeal. I'm not too worried about Binance, but capital's gains, that is something super interesting, because I've got friends that are like that understand legalities around Europe and in Asia, and thus far no one has been charged 10%, and it was something that was going to be brought in the UK, and then it was countered quite a lot in Parliament. Like, it was debated quite a lot on capital gains and what is capital gains. Because here in the UK, you can basically be tax free on trading and gambling, for example. These are sort of winnings that you don't get taxed on. So why capital gains tax on crypto assets? That was the debate in Parliament, and I was following it quite. Like, I was in the debates like 2 to 3 hours a day. I remember it was like a really stressful week for me to know how that works. So it's still they still haven't like approved it as a capital gains tax yet. So we'll see how that runs.
Okay, and
Yeah.
real quick, is this is an action outside of U.S. I understand U.S. actions as a precaution, like for example, Robinhood recently delisting certain tokens that were named in a lawsuit for the SEC and all sorts of stuff. And but we talked about how we worry about Binance having sanctions and causing other countries to basically have them withdraw from business activity in their country. So this is not something that was forced, or like it's not like you don't think it was like it was on their own accord, like just they don't want anything to do with Binance either because America, or America could influence other countries too. What do you think is really happening here?
It's one of those scenarios where basically when America sort of takes a sort of decision towards an asset, then you see how the other countries work. So like with U.S. allies countries, you can say Dominican Republic, Australia, New Zealand, England, the UK, and thus far no one has really followed that route to basically ban crypto, because I think Mika and another sort of and the BRICS are doing the counter, like those nations are adopting crypto. So maybe that's why we're not seeing immediate effect with what's happening in the US. But yeah, it's something that's going to be ongoing. I think every week we're going to find something out, and it's going to lead into the elections. Like, this is the first time I'll be following the campaign. I've never followed the elections, the U.S. elections, especially ever. But this is the first time I'm going to be following every single bit of it, because they've not been quiet. Like, I think even this week we had Elizabeth Warren, who had a lot to say. Like I think she tweeted out an anti-crypto flag as well. It was very strange, because she's a woman of like, yeah, it's a strange time in America, man.
Like and regarding the Wall Street cheat sheet that I'm sure you're aware of, there's different levels, and I'm curious what your thought is in terms of our state in that progression. Do you feel we're still in the capitulation phase, or perhaps anger or depression? What is your thinking on that?
Yeah, let's actually show this to everyone. I think for folks that can't see, let me see if I can show you an image of it. So this is the Wall Street cheat sheet, the psychology of the market cycle. I think, hold on, where did I lose it? Sorry, give me one second. Yeah. So I think we are, like, if you look at even if you look at the trading view chart, right? So I think we're here, anxiety and denial, and I think we're here, anxiety and denial. And if you look at the way the chart kind of looks pretty similar, no? Let me put it to 4 hours.
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to descend, but much more pain ahead, perhaps.
Much more. And I told you this. This needs to come down to 21K, 22K. So another black swan event can take it there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, my mind right now is completely in the Dow form, because I always thought Dow was basically protected, and we're kind of hearing about that. But yeah, where are we in the market right now? We are in anxiety and denial, I think. Yeah, I've got nothing more to say, Nato.
All right. And in the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and conclude today's podcast. We have a lot of work to get back to, folks. So we want to thank everyone for coming out today on this fantastic Saturday. We're going to stay and maybe do a couple of questions after the recording. If anybody has any questions or comments, we'll take them after we finish. So for the folks that are listening to the podcast at a later time, thank you also for your participation. And we hope you found it educational as well as entertaining. This is a fantastic time. So much coming here for the ARK, holding our level, reestablishing our dynamic range. We're seeing more volume. We are seeing a balancing out continuing here on the chart, which is absolutely very, very bullish, folks. And we're going to continue on the road. This week ahead is going to be very, very important. Getting the content out, really trying to see if we can launch the air card as well as the on-ramp this week. So let's see if we can make that happen. It is so close, folks. We're going to be back tomorrow at the same time, 4 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. UTC. Wish you all a fantastic rest of your day or evening. Please take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.